in progress.
Shiva Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva 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 Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho.
And let's let the sound of this next bell take us to the deepest place within us. Beautiful. Well, good morning, beloved ones. Before we get started this morning, I wanted to just take a moment to introduce our musicians for today. We're so happy to be welcoming back our special guest, Heartbloom Kirtan. Yeah. And now, Heartbloom currently consists of Doreen Garvin on guitar and vocals, Robin Heston on harmonium and vocals, Yarrow Nelson on flute and vocals, and over here on drums we have Pat Renshaw, and then we've got Jerry Marr on tablas. It's great to have you all back. Thank you. And so, as the name implies, Heartbloom aims to open hearts and bring participants to a high state of joy through devotional singing. And they asked me to remind you all that in Kirtan we build up our internal energy through singing. So you're absolutely invited to sing, and they're chanting names of the beloved, to the beloved, about the beloved. And the invitation is for participants to continue in that flow at the end of the song by sustaining from clapping. And so at the end of a chant or a song, we're just taking it all in. And if you have to move or something, you can do silent spirit fingers like this. Yes. And so that's how we do that to keep the energy from dissipating. So we're going to enjoy this beautiful time together. Let's give them a warm welcome. Yeah. Thank you, Heartbloom. Do you want us to be seated or stand up or? Okay, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes
as you're
is the answer to
inspired.
that question.
The
Perfect.
first one is a little slow, so the second one's a little bit more danceable. So.
Ready? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Shiva
Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
This one's to the mother.
Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga.
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 Hey Ma Durga, hey 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 Ma Durga.
Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga. Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga.
Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga.
supposed to follow that? Woo! Feeling that energy? Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Every time they're here, I am transported back to India, and it's like, this is the River Ganges, and the music is really inspiring, and I'm not super hot. It's like heaven, right? It's the best of both worlds. Have you all been to India? Yeah, it's kind of hot, right? Yeah. All right, just a little bit. Oh, well, you're not on your feet, but hey, let's turn to one another and offer the namaste greeting. Namaste, beloveds. Namaste. Namaste, all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste to our tech team, Brian and Jesus. Blessings. Namaste to our love streamers. We love you. Thank you for joining us today. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, and as you take your seat, if you'll please take a moment to silence your cell phones, that would be wonderful. And namaste, beloveds. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue, and I am your full-time spiritual leader. Thank you, Travis. I use she, her gender pronouns, and the land upon which we gather is the unceded territory of the Chumash and Salinan people. Welcome to the Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. We have been waiting for you. Yeah. Now we have an affirmation for today, and I invite you to please repeat after me. I am pure awareness. I am not my thoughts. I am pure awareness. And so it is. And now our practitioner for the day, who is also a minister emeritus, Reverend Wayne, is going to come on up and offer the Science of Mind reading and our opening prayer. Thank you, Reverend Wayne, and I'll cover the rest.
Does everybody have their own personal? All right, good. If not, there's some more over there. All right. And I'm taking today's wonderful creative experience from February the 16th, which is today, and it is called A Creative Spirit Expresses Through Me. Eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things that God hath prepared for them that love him. 1 Corinthians. Let us take a very simple lesson from nature. Perhaps from where you are sitting, you can see a tree in full heart bloom. I had to add that heart. If so, remember that the tree's roots from which it draws its life are entirely invisible. Unless the tree grew on this invisible source, it would never flourish. We have roots in the mind of God. Our personality, our individuality, everything we are and do that the world sees is really a result, in effect, of our continually drawing on the infinite. We come to see, to believe that the creative spirit in back of all things also flows through us. If we think of ourselves as rooted in God and expect divine power to flow through us, our every thought and action will be animated by the same life and power and beauty that clothe the lily of the field. God has imparted our life to us, placing no limitation or condition that would restrict us other than this. Our life must be lived constructively in unity and love and sympathy with everything around us if we expect to live it to the fullest. I believe that every person is born to be creative and to live to the fullest and to be happy and glad and prosperous and whole. It is the Father's pleasure to give me the kingdom of good. I accept it with joy and thanksgiving, knowing that I am called to be a creative center of life. All that I wish for myself, I wish for others as well. Sensing the presence of love guiding and protecting me, I go forth to spread this love to all I meet. Wow! And so we begin this experience as it moves through us, has our way with us, belongs with us, as us, individually, collectively, and universally. Today's experience is tantamount to a volcanic explosion of joy, harmony, fulfillment of our every thought, word, and deed. The music is inspiring. Reverend Elizabeth is explosive with goodness and nature. And so we experience this as our own livingness. And I accept this truth as we go forth this day, prosperously, with ease and grace. And so we say together, and so it is.
I will rise again through the rain and floods and wind. Knock me down and I'll stand up. I will rise again. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah
Thank you so much. So soothing. It's like a soothing balm for the soul, yes? Wow. I feel like I should change my whole talk now. What am I going to do? Just kidding. It's going to be awesome. I see some new folks who just came in or came in the middle. Welcome, welcome. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue. I'm the spiritual leader here. Thank you for coming on in. I'm so grateful you're here because that means I get to be here too. Yeah, it's good. Life is amazing right now for me. Even in the midst of chaos and turmoil, I know that Spirit is the constant in my life, and thus I can be and continue to be all that I came here to be, right? Isn't that wonderful? And so our seed of awakening for the month of February is peace, and it's so appropriate for these times. And the talk title for today is Transcending Thought. And I love that because it makes you go, what does that mean, right? Transcending thought. Well, I invite you to consider, what would your life be like if you could step beyond the incessant chatter of the mind to discover the deep peace that exists within? What would it be like? So our thoughts, in case you haven't noticed, our thoughts often create stories of fear and doubt and separation, and that keeps us disconnected from the divine essence of peace, doesn't it? When we're in that fear, when we're in that doubt, and we're in that sense of worry, we begin to feel, maybe we don't even feel it, but we go into this state of fear and doubt and worry, and we lose track of the beloved one that is guiding us and sustaining us and holding us every day throughout the day, the very thing that has breathed us into existence, yes? And so by transcending that mental noise, we open ourselves up to greater clarity and to that inner stillness and the harmony of spirit, which they so beautifully demonstrated. The harmony of spirit, right? Isn't that what that was? Yeah. And that harmony feels good. It's like it resonates with us. When things are in harmony, when voices and musical instruments are in harmony, something happens, and it's just like, yeah. It's not that we're just hearing it with our ears or with our, mentally, but we're actually feeling something. It evokes something in us, doesn't it? Isn't that powerful? So why would one even want to transcend their thoughts to begin with? Well, to move beyond identification with the mind, first of all. Now, we all know that thoughts are, in fact, a part of this human experience. And so transcending thoughts, though, means that we recognize and realize that while we're having thoughts, we are not our thoughts. I think we can get confused sometimes, and the thoughts that we're thinking become so real that we actually believe it. For example, I'm not enough, that thought, right? But the beautiful news is that I am more than enough. You can grab onto that thought too and let that take you for a wonderful adventure. You are more than enough. So to move beyond identification with the mind, and instead we recognize and understand that we are actually the awareness that is observing the thoughts, because we have that capacity, don't we, to step back and view all of it, observe it. Number 2 is to access the present moment, which I also talked about. Hi, Jimmy. Talked about last week about being in the present moment. Now, thought, have you noticed, often pulls us into the past or into the future. We start thinking about that thing that happened last week, or sometimes, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that, or me, I'd never say that to myself. Planning for the future, like what's going to happen after this service. That keeps us from actually being in this beautiful, ever-expanding moment that is happening right now. which is a God moment. This is a holy moment that we're experiencing right now, isn't it? Do you feel that? I mean, if you just look around, take a moment to look around in this room and see all the individuals who are swimming in this ocean of devotion with you today. We're all here. Spirit called us to be here today for one reason or another. And I love that you all followed that inner guidance to join us here today. So we get to access the present moment. Now, transcending thought anchors us fully in the here and now, doesn't it? When we are present and available, just like when they're singing, I was looking at everyone, and there was some movement going on, and everyone seemed very grounded and anchored, and that is so beautiful. That's what I'm talking about, accessing this present moment. And then also, thirdly, to experience a higher state of consciousness. So I believe that, you know, when we get down and go down that negative spiral of darkness, which we do sometimes, but what happens for me is then I start to feel bad about myself, because now I know I'm in this like law of attraction's kicking in, and I can find all the terrible things, right? And they find me. It's like a magnet, yes? But I want to transcend that. I want to be in a state, now not because I'm trying to bypass, but the state that I want to be in is a state where I'm experiencing feelings of peace and unity and direct experience with the divine presence, free from any of the mental filters that would have me believe anything other than spirit is all that there is, which absolutely happened when they were singing up here. And I love that. Thank you again. I just love, and I mean, any music, you know, when Jimmy and our band and choir are here, it does it to me too, right? I mean, music in general stirs us and gets to us in a different way, doesn't it, than these words can. All right, so, but first let's look at what's the, so those are the three reasons why we would want to transcend thought. So the nature of thought is that thoughts are a complex mental process that involve the manipulation of information and the formation of models of the world. And so they're based on our sensory perceptions, emotions, and action plans, right? You get that? Now, everything is energy. We believe everything is energy, so our thought forms are units of mental energy, and that mental energy influences our behavior. Now, sometimes we pick up thoughts from other people. And have you ever, like, a thought comes through and you're like, who is that? Or a thought comes through and it's like, well, that was my mom talking right there in my mind, or my dad, or the news, or something like that's not mine. So we pick up other things, right? We're like sponges when we go out in the world, and even here. And I think one of the things that we love about being here is we get to just soak up the love that is here in this room. I mean, are you all feeling that love and that just that presence of beauty and stillness and peace that we hunger for, right? And so we're picking that up from each other. But even that, you know, your thoughts do not define who you are. And but if we have a choice, why not choose this, right? That's where I always go. Like, if I'm choosing, I'm going to choose peace, love, unity, wholeness, rather than the opposite. And so I don't consider that toxic positivity. It's absolutely not. Now, by observing our thoughts without attachment, we actually connect with that deeper presence of spirit within. Now, Lao Tzu said it well. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. And it becomes your destiny. Well said. So consider my welcome every Sunday. Welcome to the Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. Ernest Holmes said it this way: change your thinking, change your life. Is it possible to shift from identifying with the content of our thoughts to embodying the peaceful awareness that observes them? Yes! Isn't that wonderful news? The question to ask ourselves is this: do I want to be peaceful? Do you actually want to be peaceful? Wait, let's ask ourselves this again. Do I want to be peaceful? Yes. Oh, that's very enthusiastic. Or do I want to be righteously indignant, living in anger and rage? No. Do you notice yourself when you go into that mode? It's like, whoop, went down the wrong grocery store aisle. I'm going to go this way. Right? I think I know you all well enough to know that you want to be peaceful and you want to experience that peace. Isn't that right? Yeah. Now, there are practices that you can use to get yourself out of the monkey mind and back into the flow. And I'm going to focus on two of those today. One is a mindful breathing practice, and the other is an awareness practice. Because in my mind, I'm thinking we can use all the help we can get right now to get back into our peaceful state, you know? It doesn't matter which side of the political spectrum you're on, right? It's like both are in that state of high energy, let's call it, right? And it's just, it's intense. And so how do we find the peace? Now, this just reminded me of something that happened for me this week, which was we had this atmospheric river storm, right? We all survived, thank goodness. And we did all these repairs on our house last year, as you know, and it was about 8 months ago. And then my husband was out in the side of the house working on the gutter and trying to get the system set up like a temporary system so that it wasn't flowing right into the foundation of the house and flooding. And so he's out there in the rain and then he gets whatever he can done and he goes off to work. He's got to go to work, right? He goes to work and then I'm working in my room, my office downstairs. And I look up at the spot that had that leak before, I just wanted to check. And there's a water stain, right? And I was like, and I started to feel like I was getting upset and angry and just, but I am aware enough to know that that's not going to serve me. Like, it is what it is. It's not going to make it go away. It is what it is. It's there, and it's just going to be about dealing with it. So you know what I did? I stepped into my ring, and I said, I am calm, peaceful, and poised. And I felt it, and my whole state shifted. And I was like, all right, made some phone calls, let Travis know. I called these people. And he was like, wow, you are on it. Amazing, right? And just that difference is so powerful, you know? Did anyone else use that ring example this week? Good, yeah. I want to talk to you after the service. That's awesome. So wonderful. So the first practice we're going to look at here is mindful breathing. Now, this is about practicing sitting in silence and just observing your thoughts without judgment. Now, over time, you'll notice that you can watch your thoughts passing by without actually getting caught in them. You can use a mantra or focus on your breath or practice just mindfulness to center yourself and be present, yes? And then you'll sit quietly focusing on your breath, inhaling and exhaling for however many times you want to, 5 or 10 times. Now, I recently learned the Ha breathing technique, which is a Hawaiian meditation that focuses on breathing with intent. And so it's based on the idea that breath and thought create reality, all right? And so we're going to try this together in a moment if you're willing. But for Ha breathing, it's real simple. You're going to inhale like you normally would, and then you'll exhale for a couple of counts more than you normally would. And of course, we'll begin with regular inhale, and then you'll notice the Ha extends a little longer, and you're actually going to make the Ha sound. You're going to see and feel your body relax And it's amazing how magnificently this works. And so I'm going to invite you to continue the Ha breathing technique with me until you hear the sound of the bell. I'll bring that over. And then if your mind wanders, gently guide it back to your breath. And we'll start that here in a moment. I'll ring the bell to get us started. But first I'll demo also. So it's really, really simple. It goes like this. Okay? Let's do that about 4 more times. Wow, the energy shifted tremendously. How did that feel? Grounding? Peaceful? Good. Wonderful. All right. So, do you smell popcorn? Okay. I thought I did for a moment. Bye. Thanks for coming. All right. So we're going to now move into this other practice, which is an awareness practice. And so we're going to actually shift our attention to sensory experiences with an awareness practice. So you have the feeling of the air on your skin, or the sounds around you, or the rhythm of your breath. And you can also cultivate a sense of detachment from thoughts, seeing them as clouds passing through the sky of your awareness. But what we're going to focus on today is, and that's actually something that Susan has shared before, at least to me, around just doing like a 5 senses check, right? What do you see right now? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you smell, right? And that really brings you into the present moment. But we're going to focus on something that I also learned at my training in San Diego, and this is called Hakalau. And I'm so happy that you two are just back from Hawaii, because this is another Hawaiian practice. And this Hakalau is actually a Hawaiian term that carries multiple layers of meaning depending on the context. So at its core, the word can be broken down into haka, which is to perch or shelf or space, and lau, which is leaf, many, abundance, or spread. Together, hakalau can be interpreted to mean to observe everything in your surroundings, or to spread out and expand awareness. It is a term used in Hawaiian culture to describe a state of a heightened awareness and focus, where one is open to perceiving a broader perspective. So we're going from breathing and observing our thoughts to breathing and external observation all around us. using our peripheral vision. Now, in Hawaiian spirituality, hakalau is associated with a meditative state of expanded awareness. It emphasizes relaxing the gaze and allowing peripheral vision to widen, horizontally and vertically, yes, and connection to the environment that way. So we connect to everything around us, which is a beautiful thing. Now, the state of hakalau is said to be very familiar to getting into the zone. Have you heard that? Or being in the flow. Have you ever been in the flow? Yes. Ever been in the zone? Yes. Yeah, right. All right. So when you're in the zone, you're relaxed, you have a heightened state of awareness, and you're in the flow and fully present and engaged with your surroundings or activity. In both hakalau and in the zone, there are several key elements that overlap. So one is relaxed focus. Instead of hyper-focusing on one thing, like if I'm hyper-focused, I'm just going to be looking right at this, my awareness will now expand to take in everything around without stress or tension, right? And so presence is another one, being you're fully in the moment and you're not distracted by thoughts of the past or thoughts of the future. You have enhanced performance, so by being deeply attuned to the moment, you have your actions become more fluid, precise, and effective. And the difference is that hakalau is intentionally cultivated through vision, right? Through practices like softening the gaze, breathing, and expanding our peripheral vision. Sometimes you get into the flow, like runners will just suddenly hit a zone and they can keep going in that zone because they've hit it, right? They've reached their, we'll call it hakalau, right? So this is a particular deliberate way, and when we get into this hakalau, which actually happens naturally for us sometimes, and one great example is that you're all sitting out here and perhaps you're focusing on me sometimes, which is this, you have a single point of focus, and then sometimes your vision expands to the lake behind me and the trees and the birds. That's you getting into hakalau. You didn't even know it, right? And so it's a beautiful thing. So it essentially means peripheral vision, or a state of awareness where you're taking in information from your wider field of vision, not just focusing on a central point, similar to how our peripheral vision works, right? There's peripheral vision, which is taking in things around us, and then there's what's called foveal vision, which is just taking in a single point of focus, right, in the central center of our vision field. And so peripheral vision captures so much more, right? So foveal provides high resolution detail when you're in that foveal vision. When you're reading a book and you're totally focused directly in front of it, and how many of you get so into your book that you can't see what's happening in the world around you? Yeah, you're into it, right? But your hakalau vision, remember, is up here, down here, and on both sides, right? As far back as you can see. When I'm looking that way, I can see this hand still, and I can't see this one, though, because I'm looking over here. We're going to try this out in a moment. So would you guys be willing to try this with me, getting into hakalau? Okay, good. All right, I invite you now to place your hands into your peripheral vision. You might start with putting them out here, right? Just put them out here, and then wiggle your fingers. You see your fingers wiggling, and then just pull them back all the way until you can go real far back. Now I can't see them, and then bring them up until you can see them again, right? See that? Now see how your gaze has shifted a little bit, and now you're going to move your hands to out in front, maybe out here, and then put that down. Put one hand down and one up. Now that's as far as I can go. You might be able to go further, but the idea is that you can see, you're looking straight ahead, but you can see them in your peripheral vision. Now to the sides again. All right, and now look at your palm and look at the lines and the details in the palms of your hands. And now let's go back to Hakalau with your hands out here as far as you can and still see them. And then up. And then back to the sides. And then you can put your hands down. Did you notice the difference? Isn't that cool? All right, so you can do Hakalau at any time, right? And so that is very helpful also if you're starting to feel a little tense because you're focused in, especially those of us who have a little bit of OCD. Any OCD folks in here? Oh, just a couple, you may be OCD about one thing, but not everything. I get that. It's fine. But if you feel yourself going into that, you can just kind of go like this, and your mind, your vision will shift, and you'll come back to the broader picture. Isn't that awesome? So now you have these two amazing tools for yourself. Now, getting into Hakalau is a change of awareness. You're actually changing your mental state. It's so powerful. Now, you can use this tool anytime that you want to get back into the flow of your higher consciousness. Of course, you can meditate and get prayer also, or pray sometimes, and you don't have to go like this. Like if you're in a meeting, you don't want to go, hold up, wait a minute. Got to find my Hakalau. Got to find my Hakalau, right? You can just, you can do it. It's beautiful. Do you like that? Yeah. Is that going to help you? Yeah. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about today, given the fact that, the last week we had Valentine's Day. How many of you enjoy Valentine's Day? Anyone? Okay, a few of you. Some of us are like, oh, it's just another day. It's a Hallmark holiday. Right? Gosh. But anyway, that's love. It's everywhere. You can't avoid it. Love. They're making shirts. They're making sweaters. They're even giving away these sweaters now. It's like, okay, I'll take another one. Fine. Yeah, you can't avoid it. You see the candies everywhere in the store, heart-shaped things everywhere. So it's almost March. Don't worry. So given that, though, I wanted to just talk today a little bit about communication styles, because this is going to help in your relationships. And this will help in your relationship with your spouse, or your relationship with your friends and coworkers and just everyone out in the world, right? Because you'll recognize the different communication styles. Now, I'm going to make the distinction of two communication styles today. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard of this before, but the first one is direct. There is a communication style called direct, and the other one is called inferential, all right? Now, a direct communication style is a straightforward and clear way of conveying a message. Direct communicators are known for being honest and getting to the point quickly. Totally not me, right? And it takes me 30 minutes to say what I want to say. And inferential communication involves interpreting meaning by using context and shared knowledge rather than just literal words that are spoken. All right? So just with that little bit of information, can anyone guess my communication style? Okay, I'll reveal it soon. We're going to go a little deeper. So direct communication, this style is explicit, it's clear and straightforward. The speaker communicates their thoughts and needs and intentions openly without requiring the listener to read between any lines. So messages are explicit and they leave little room for interpretation. They focus on clarity, precision, and efficiency. All right? And they're often used in cultures or environments that value honesty and assertiveness. Example, I need you to complete this report by 5 p.m. That's a direct communication, yes? I'm upset because you didn't call me when you said you would call me. Now, if you're an inferential communicator, if somebody communicates that way, it feels like, eh. ugh, like, why are you being so confrontational? And that's my experience anyway. The advantage of being a direct communicator, though, is that it reduces misunderstandings and ensures everyone is on the same page. A direct communicator will say, I'm not sure we're on the same page. Are we on the same page, right? And so the challenges are that you may come across as blunt or insensitive in certain contexts. Are there any direct communicators? And you know you're a direct communicator. Direct communicators unite, right? All right. And then the inferential communication style. This style relies on context, subtle hints, nonverbal cues, and I love it. The listener is expected to infer the intended meaning rather than receive it explicitly, spelled out in black and white. Do you really need to have that? So examples, actually, messages are implied or suggested rather than directly stated. They focus on harmony, subtlety, and preserving relationships. And they're often used in cultures that value indirectness and context. So instead of saying, I'm upset, someone might say, it would have been nice if you called yesterday. Yeah? It would have been nice. The report needs to be done soon. So if you're talking to a person who is a direct communicator, they need to hear that it needs to be done by 5 or soon. I mean, that's very vague, and that's going to confuse them, right? So advantages for inferential communication style are that it maintains politeness and avoids confrontation. It's gentle. And so the challenges are that it can lead to misunderstandings if the listener misses or misinterprets the cues that are being given. So in comparison, direct communication is explicit and focuses on content, and inferential communication is implicit and focuses on maintaining relationships and social harmony. Now, understanding these styles actually helps improve and strengthen interpersonal relationships, connections. It allows you to actually adapt to the needs of the person that you're communicating with so that there's more clarity and people don't leave confused, right? You can't just demand that the world talk to you as a direct communicator or as a inferential communicator. You've got to learn to adjust. And so if a direct communicator is talking to us and we're inferential, we might even shut down because we feel like this is confrontational and I don't want anything to do with it. Can anyone relate to that? Yeah. And then if you're the direct communicating person, you're like, what did happen? I'm just talking, right? Do you see how that can cause problems in your relationships? Yeah, so my husband is a direct communicator and I'm an inferential communicator. Yes, it's true. Up here, I'm speaking directly and it's a little different, but at home, I'm inferential, right? I mean, and so a frustration point for me is that he'll talk to me and it takes like 3 words and I got it. But he wants to have like 8 sentences. And I go like, what is happening? I live with you. I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? It's like, what is happening here? And then I get like, and so I just learned this at this NLP training and it's so valuable, right? It's like, oh, okay, all right. So I can adapt and speak more directly, but I gotta find the fine line because for me as an inferential communicator, having to say all these words when it should just be understood in 3 words, you know, we live together. It can be exhausting, but it just takes practice. And so the facilitator had an awesome example, and I can't really beat that one. But his name is Matt, and he happens to be an inferential communicator, and his wife is a direct communicator. Now, they were in Mexico, and they needed some groceries. And so they got to the supermarket, and they found that it was going to cost them 1 peso to get the cart out of the machine that it was connected to. And they were just at another store where they received a peso back, and his wife had it, and he knew that she likely had it in her pocket. And so they're standing at the rack of carts, and Matt turns to his wife and says, "Honey, do you have that peso from earlier?" And she goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "Can you please give me that peso that you got from earlier so that we can get this cart out of the rack?" See? And she's like, "Oh, yeah, here you go." Right? You get that? Yeah. Do you have that peso? Yeah? It needs to be clear and explicit, right? I love that. And so this knowledge, my friends, has the potential to save our relationships, right? So your homework assignment, I'll get to that in a moment. But in conclusion, we're going to wrap it up here, friends. By transcending thought, you move beyond the limitations of mental activity, aligning with the infinite essence of who you are, which is beyond words, beyond concepts and limitations of the mind. In this state, you connect with the profound stillness and oneness of existence, pure awareness, presence, and connection with the greater whole. These are the practices that we talked about to help you be the observer and get into the flow state. The examples were the ha breathing and hakalau. So you'll remember those this week and use them, ha breathing and hakalau. And then know your communication style and practice using the other style because it can save your marriage. Right? That's what I learned. My husband's happy that I learned that. And it literally will improve all of your relationships. And so I'm going to invite the musicians to come on up and prepare for our closing song here as I give you the call to action. So your homework assignment, should you choose to accept it for this week, is number 1, practice ha breathing while sitting and observing your thoughts as they pass by like clouds in the sky. Number 2, use hakalau to expand your awareness and vision. And number 3, identify your communication style and notice how it manifests in your life and practice using the other style. All right, let's take a breath together here. And join me as we turn our attention inward, returning to that beautiful expansive state within, to that hakalau state. And this is the state where I know and remember with every fiber of my being that spirit is all that there is. It is all that there ever was, and it is all that there ever will be. And I'm so grateful in this moment to know that I am connected and directed to source energy. It is the thing that has birthed me into existence. And so knowing that, I can go out into this world from a peaceful place, knowing that I have tools in my toolkit to bring me back to this peaceful presence of love and loving kindness and compassion, unity and connection that my soul longs for. And I can truly look out in the world and see the light in others and be the light for them. I am not my thoughts. I am pure awareness. I am not my thoughts. I am pure awareness. And I'm so grateful that this is so. I can allow it to be and let it go with gratitude and joy. And so it is. Thank you.
Now is the time when I let go of
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, friends, it's now time for our conscious giving. And so will the ushers please come forward? We've got BJ and Jen. Let's give BJ and Jen some love. Thank you for volunteering. We're so grateful. We're so blessed. All right, if you're tuning in on the live stream, you can donate by going to paypal.me/awakeningways. And if you're in the room and go, oh, whoops, I forgot my checkbook or I forgot my cash. Hey, look, if you have a smartphone, you can open up your camera and scan this QR code and make your donation that way. Remember, this community is fully operational by donations, so your work absolutely does great work in the world, you know. All right, we have a giving affirmation, which is in your program, but I'll ask you to please take your gift and place it over your heart and repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world.
It does great work in the world.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
So it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Oh, we are so grateful for this day, for the prosperity that gives us, flows through us, as us, with us, and expands our consciousness. We are so grateful for this truth. Let it be so, and so it is.
Awesome. All right, I'll just use this one for a second. So I'm going to invite our announcements angel to come up, but as he's making his way up, I will remind everyone that if there is something that is weighing heavy on your heart for which you would like prayer for, or maybe there's something you're looking to manifest in your life, improved relationship, a new car, whatever it is, right? We have a group of practitioners and ministers who are ready to pray. And so in your program, there was a salmon-colored sheet that is the prayer request form. You can fill that out, place it in the prayer box over here on the side. And if you don't have one, there's some more sheets over there. Lost my language for a second. And if you come up with a prayer request during the week, you can email us at info@awakeningways.org and put in the subject line prayer request. And I would love to call your attention now to our Kristen Barnhart, who is holding the high watch, and she's been in a meditative state throughout the service. And we do this at every service to ensure there's a grounded, anchored state of consciousness in the room. So she's good, but she'll be coming out of it now. So if she's like floating around, that's why. She's been meditating for a while. So thank you, Kristen, for that. And then if you want to go deeper with a practitioner to uncover your limiting beliefs or want to have a deeper session, they do 1-hour sessions. And so you can contact them directly. Their phone numbers are in the program on the back, or also you can reach out to the office, again, info@awakeningways.org. And now, without further ado, our announcements angel.
Good
Good morning, Awakening Ways. That's right, I'm your announcements angel for this morning, coming directly to you from Source, okay? Direct communicator, okay. All right, by the way, show of hands, is there anybody in here that is subscribed to our e-newsletter? Show of hands. Did you notice a redesign? Isn't that cool? I also like to spotlight those of us in this community, and in this spotlight, I want to just give some love to Susan. You know, I really appreciate the newsletter. It shows everything that is going on, and all the work and love that you've put into the newsletter. I really appreciate you. The new redesign is including Alexandra Berg has been working with us to redesign, and she has taken that awesomeness that Susan has been giving us for so long, and she's formatted it. And so when you get that newsletter, be sure to click on one of the graphics, because it'll take you right to the specifics. All right, so everything that's in this, everything that's in the announcements today will be in the newsletter. So if you're not signed up for the newsletter and you want to be, just send an email to info@awakeningways.org and get yourself signed up. All right, join us every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at our office on El Camino Real for guided meditation. This week will be facilitated by Reverend Elizabeth. There's no fee to attend, and love offerings are gratefully accepted. Bring your yoga mat, pillow, blanket, whatever you need to be comfortable, plus a journal or pen, paper and a pen to take down your experiences. And when is that? All right, thank you. Okay, all right. We're hosting 2 Friday night movies in February and 2 in March, also at our office in El Camino Real, featuring movies that inspire peace. This coming Friday, February 21st, we are showing The Best of Enemies. And on February 28th, the movie Dolores. There are links to the movie trailers in our e-news. Woo! So check it out and tell your friends. We have a sign-up sheet in the back table. All are welcome, and there is no fee to attend. Also in March, we will feature an exhibit of the photography of Joe Schwartz at our office in Atascadero. Joe is the late father of our own Paula Motlow. His photographic documentation is a serious commitment to help make the world a better place for all of us, with a deep appreciation for cultural differences. You're not going to want to miss this. This photography is spectacular. All right, so also in February, join Reverend Elizabeth next Sunday, February 23rd, for Divine Sparkles, an opportunity to take a deeper dive into the seed of awakening. We'll have an extra hour here at the pavilion. So also next Sunday, bring your kids and grandkids for Spiritual Sprouts children's program. Nancy Van Tassel will lead the kids in a joyful hour of music. All right. And so you'll want to mark your calendars for our annual meeting on Sunday, March 9th. We will review the happenings in 2024, and there are a lot. We had a really great time in 2024, and we're going to be sharing plans and visions for 2025. So that's next Sunday. No? March 9th. That's right. Thank you for listening. All right. Our book of the month for February is A New Earth, and it's not up here, but it is in the back. A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose by Eckhart Tolle, and it is available for $15. And a big shout out to our volunteers and staff. We love and appreciate you so much. Yay, volunteers! All right. That, my beloveds, is the announcements.
Thank you, Travis. All right, let's circle up for our benediction and call and response. All right. Might need to get a little closer, huh? We got to get a little, okay. All right, won't you know with me that you are never alone? that God is where you are right now and always, and all that you ever need to do is turn within. And it is here you will find you are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my relationships. Life is everywhere. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I express it. I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Woohoo!
Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. You are surrounded by the light of God, the light of peace, the light of love. You are surrounded by the light of God, the light of peace, the light of love. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. Love surround you, peace surround you, angels surround you every day, all day long, morning, noon, and night. You are surrounded by the light. You are surrounded by the light of God, the light of peace, the light of love. You are surrounded by the light of God, the light of peace, the light of love.
I could not hit my lower register at all today. Like, oh my god. Anything low felt really gross